Good morning, my name is Gustavo Maldonado and today I'm going to talk about the Nazi period in Germany and its impacts on society during the World War II. To begin with, I will talk about how the Nazis remained and had an influence on the society of Nazi Germany at the time and how the socio-political restriction that the government had towards its society and its people not only affected those who were discriminated and repudiated, such as Jews and Polish, but also how the Aryan society functioned, besides talking about how some of the aspects of gender and social tastes were punished and discriminated against to a certain extent, until it was changed and put on the back burner for greater needs. In the first part of this essay, I will talk about how the discrimination, racism, intolerance, and repudiation of Germany and the National Social Party was crucial to commit the greatest acts of cruelty, inhumanity, and genocide in modern history, being the genocide and massacre of countless Jews, Polish, and foreigners, in addition to all the people who during this period were imprisoned in concentration campuses and we were executed after being forced to work tirelessly and as slaves. During this period, no rights were respected, not even the right to life, since the concentration camps indiscriminately imprisoned men, women, and children of all of ages and of all creeds, except of those of the National Society Party and Germans who were considered pure and radical and racially poor. All others were totally categorized as possible concentration camp inmates. After the end of the war, the United States nation was founded and adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, an important thing, and this biggest organization was founded in California in 1948 because of these problems that was contemplated by the entire world. In addition to this system of genocide for the prisoners captured in concentration campuses, human rights were also not respected during the period of war and the battle between the Germans and the Allies, as Germans sought to develop the most deadly weapons in history and the most destructible possible in order to impose its hegemony as the most powerful power in the world. These weapons can be found as pepper gas, mustard gas, incendiary missiles, and napalm, which were weapons of such destruction that before that problems, the ONU and the war itself founded the war crimes, which were those laws that protect combatants from suffering horrible deaths and limited the countries to use more human weapons to fight and don't make his combatants suffer as a lot. The United States was not separated from those atrocities, since during the period and with the help of Albert Einstein and Oppenheimer, the most lethal weapon in history of mankind, the atomic bomb, was developed, and this also generated an incalculable amount of death in what was Japan of the Axis power. The United States tested 2 bombs in Japanese territory, which during the Nazi period and the war period was a violation of the rights of the people who were not fighting in the war, since these bombs were dropped in areas habitated by the population of Japan. This means the United States dropped 2 bombs in cities, 2 bombs in habitated zones of civilians, not soldiers, civilians. This is a dark moment in the history. Very, very dark. During this period, the discrimination was not really against the gender in Germany, since all those who were taken to the concentration camps were treated equally, whether men, women, and children. In this sense, there was no discrimination as such against gender, although the division of labor treatment were much more marked. Men were always exploited more than women, and the women were subjected to many cases of abuse and rape. This was directly related to the phenomenon against gender and the racism of the people. During this period, homosexual behavior and people who were attracted to the same gender were persecuted and imprisoned, in addition to the fierce persecution of transgender people. And these events also increased with the discrimination and racial policies, and were made the strict measurements to review and observation of the behavior of transgender people, and even worse. In other countries, all types of homosexuality situations were brought into private life. This changed, and their legal charges were dropped. But in wartime, they were punished as crime in all the countries. Before that, this changed. But during the wartime, all the homosexual people were persecuted and imprisoned. In the United States, as a change, the gender was extremely parked, since only the men could even enter in the militia, and until that moment, only the men could work. But during the decreased demand of the male in the war front, the industry and the factories, the cities began to decrease in a big time. In this situation make the woman as a fundamental element in the production of the basic elements like food, like clothes, armament, and textiles for other type of purpose, which resulted in the increase of the economic strength of the United States at that time. Since during the theories, it was concluded that the economy most countries are losing a possible production of at least 15% of the population, since until that time women were forbidden to show up a job or generate income for the industry. This not limit the need of both genders to support each other equally for a specific purpose. This make a big change in the society. Because of this situation, the woman transformed in an important part of the society, and many doors opened for everyone. To conclude this essay, I would like to say that during this period of the World War II, the human rights did not exist as such thing that we were know today. And this caused the same rights to be trampled and forgotten for the people who were being wronged and attacked, which show us need for this the most important thing, and how this also affect the functionality of the society and conflict. Discrimination was seen on both sides of the war, the Axis power and the Allies, since for the German discrimination by race and creed was the most important thing at the time, was what caused the most of the world's problem in that system, which also caused the biggest massacre of all time. On the part of the Americans, the discrimination of women was questioned in a great way, which allowed to opening towards the working world and towards the war scenes during this moment for the women. The women were called to the factories and to the battlefield as medical support, which opened enormous doors for the development of the woman in the modern society of that moment. And now this is important to the rights of the men and women. As a result of this conflict and this new application in the society, we today enjoy new system of rights, obligations, and opportunities. As this dark moment in history opened the door to a much more developed time, to more opportunities for each and every individual in this planet, regardless of the race, creed, and gender. This bad and terrifying moment changed the world, changed the society, and changed all the mind of all the people in that moment to being more open and open mind, to accept all the people, to accept all the races, and to accept all the creeds. This was a very important moment in history, and today we know that this is the base of our society, and we can change, we can develop, and we can be better. This is the importance of the history and the importance to reflect and to think into the history, because we can be better all time, all the day. We can be better. This is important for the world. Thanks for watching the essay. I hope you like it. Have a nice day.